Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Mysterious JG. Things are coming to a head. I'm probably talking already too much with a mix of things that I have had spoiled and speculation. But we kind of know there's not much left in Arthur's story. So let's see what life is like in camp now that a bunch of people... Well, hold on. I guess I do need to... Can't just jump right in. The last couple of missions we've seen, like, Dutch maybe had a plan, but it seemed like he set up our Native American, quote, allies for disaster in order to create a distraction where we stole about $5,000 worth of bonds. But that's about how much cash Arthur has, which has me feeling a mixture of... I don't know if I want to complain about the writing or if I should feel guilt because maybe it's a game design decision. I don't know, but we stopped putting a lot of money into the camp a long time ago because we kind of bought everything the camp needed, and you could see little bits of cash flowing into the camp from other people, but not much of it was coming from anyone except Arthur. And eventually, I just stopped upgrading the camp and putting more money into the camp coffers. But we had a couple of big missions which. The math didn't make sense to me. Like, we did our big bank robbery mission and we got a bunch of money. And that's where a lot of the money I have now. The reason we're at like 5,000 is because I seldom have that much reason to spend money. And a couple of the big plot missions gave us money. It's not like I was doing hours and hours and hours of stealing wagons. I did some of that early on, off-screen wagon theft and selling it to fences to upgrade the camp and get things like a chicken coop, but didn't do a ton of that. Or really any of that after we got out of Valentine. But now it's like, oh, this big score that Dutch didn't really reveal his plan to anybody. That's part of his problem. But it was to get about $5,000. Like, well, Arthur had that. If that's what we needed to get out of here, Arthur could have taken care of it. So I feel a little bad about that. But also, another thing that's come out of this is Arthur has spoken to various members of the gang, Charles and Marston and Sadie. And a thing that's kind of happened, whether Arthur did it by design or not, is the gang is very much split. Now there's a decent chunk of people who consistently want to ride with Marston and are pretty openly with Arthur Morgan. They're pretty openly with Arthur and not with the Dutch. So the gang has kind of been split in half. And you've got some of the support characters like, Reverend Swanson is still around somewhere. Pearson is still around somewhere. Uncle and the various ladies, like, they haven't really taken sides, but all of our guns, like Williamson and Escuela, have pretty much take Vanderland's side, and Micah is with Dutch, and Micah's bringing in his own new guns from outside of the gang. I don't know, things are getting ugly.
Tilly?
Where is Tilly? Oh, she's over there, okay.
You okay?
All this whispering and walking on eggshells, I hate it.
Start screaming.
I know, but that's how things are right now.
Okay, then.
We saw little John Marston walking by, but... Is that Charles, or...
Can I talk to you a second?
Sure.
I'm just so worried about Karin, Arthur.
But I just tried to talk to you, and you blew me off.
You know why? She's gonna kill herself when she hits the liquor.
Well,
Sure.
everybody does, but...
But I guess that's her choice. I'll try speaking with her.
Thanks, Arthur. I'll try too. But we both know it won't work.
So really, let's not bother.
You know, I'd be dead in that factory if it wasn't for Eagle Flies. And I feel like Dutch saw and didn't do nothing.
Oh, wow.
You gotta just look out for yourself now, Arthur.
I mean, I could be wrong. It's a family name, actually. It all happened so fast.
I can see why you
Oh, Micah's giving Bill Williams and shit now.
Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me. Marion.
Hey, don't give Marion a hard time.
I wouldn't dream of it.
She's a very sensitive lady.
Well, at least we got a moment of bonding together with Micah, all at the expense of Bill Williamson, a.k.a. Marion. Everything's at the expense of Bill.
Hey there, Marion.
Shut up.
Sorry, ma'am.
Just doesn't seem like the time.
Okay. Guess I'll leave you to it then.
Okay.
Lady, with your vulva and your breasticles. Breasticles. What the
Hey,
hell?
mister.
Hey there, mister.
Just what you doing here?
Micah brought us in for the train job. Name's Cleet, by the way.
He did he? Okay. Well, I'll be watching you, Cleet. Well, try to keep your head straight.
Wherever you say.
It's nice that we're making friends with Cleet and Joe.
Who are you?
Name's Joe. I'm with Micah.
With Micah. Well, more fool you. Well, don't give up on everything just yet. All right.
That seems like a pretty generic way to talk to us, since you'd say that to any gang member. And you appear to have hostility with us. Last chance to make friends with Javier, possibly.
Hi, Javier.
Won't even sit next to me no more.
Hard to believe it's come to this.
I could sit
We
next to
gotta
you.
stay behind Dutch. That's the only way.
Hey, that's why we're all here.
Whatever you say.
Okay, well, apparently if I'd sat down next to Javier, the whole game would have gone differently. Might help that right in front of Javier I was talking to Sadie about how Dutch's a piece of shit.
You want to sit, Arthur?
You doing okay in all this?
You don't have to worry about me.
Good. We're gonna need each other.
Okay, Arthur.
Alright, well, I'm going to sit with you boys and girl. And get this gang back
Pretty
together.
depressing around here, ain't it?
Sure.
Except that that's not going to work.
Hi, Bill.
Hello.
I can see all this is hitting you hard.
Don't you try and sidle up to me.
I don't want friends. Only generic, nameless thugs to be in my army in the next game. Okay, trying to talk to Bill wasn't good. Oh, never mind.
Why is everyone acting so crazy, Morgan?
He does want to talk.
I guess folk are real scared.
We'll be fine. We always have been. Now Dutch will see us good.
I hope so.
Not you as well. Another fella doubting them? You know, I thought more of you, Morgan.
I ain't. We've been friends a long time.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Yeah, Williamson, he's not a real bright guy. That's kind of his character, but he's loyal to Dutch, and I mean, that in and of itself isn't really a bad thing.
Hey,
You do what your mom tells you, okay?
of course, Uncle Arthur.
Yeah, whatever, Uncle Arthur.
We'll all be getting out of here very soon. Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Try to keep
Sure,
warm.
Uncle Arthur.
I spoke to John. We're working it out.
I know. Just be careful.
I can psychically
You too.
hear anything you tell him.
Okay. Guess I'll see you later then.
I guess.
Don't let me cough on the boy. My fast travel map to aid with my last minute free roam exploration before that's not a thing for Arthur Morgan unless he's doing free roam exploration somewhere else. No, I suppose I've spoiled it a bit, but I mean, you had to know there is a palpable sense of doom at this point in the game. I have to say I have not played that many games in my years of playing video games that have really built up the sense of just futility and dread that this game has built up. I kind of admire it. It's not. I mean, and not just in a. Not just in a purely depressing way, but it's like it has told a story where it's just wow. We got fucking Edith Wharton levels of like we've been following these characters for all this time and never given any reason to believe anything good was coming out of it. Oh, you guys just gonna talk about that right in front of me?
What?
Hey there.
Just so you know, strangers make me
I wonder what
nervous,
antagonize would be.
Thank you for sharing that.
so just watch yourself.
Well, all right, my friend.
Hey. Hi. Made yourself real at home there.
Guess so.
Well, enjoy the fun times.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think things are gonna go well between us. Let's talk about Deadwood. I mean, we got characters like Uncle. To a much lesser extent, well, we got, I guess Uncle. We got Reverend Swanson. Any of the female characters. I mean, in all honesty, Karin, the one who's like drinking herself into oblivion, that we're supposed to talk to, but I don't know where she turned up. She's been useful in some of our criminal missions. None of the other ladies. I mean, I guess they. I don't want to sound sexist. It's the way the game works. Do they cook and clean around the place? Like, I don't really get a sense of what they contribute to the criminal enterprise. I guess they're out there looking for leads or whatever.
Hi, Tilly. You doing all right?
What is going on with you all? You're acting like children.
Trying to work it
We're
out.
the children of the Adam. We're the children of the Adam. Yeah, that would be a fun twist for this game if it suddenly went to like the soundtrack from Wet. I'm not okay. Don't look at me, I'm not okay. Could be our last chance to enjoy Pearsons stew. Particularly since we don't know where Pearson is. And Pearsons Coffee, which is like Pearsons stew with slightly less meat. I'm gonna get all caffeine buzz going here so I can record ahead in my LPs tonight. Ugh, nothing but grounds at the bottom there. Yuck. Alright. And of course we have the various horses. The horses that belong to other characters are all named. I never did bother to figure this out. I'm sure the Wikia will tell you. There's my horse, but I'm sure the Wiki will tell you.
So you think Dutch has lost his mind, Arthur?
Kind of.
I don't know anymore. I'm not sure I even care.
Because Bill kind of does pull away from him.
Micah says you've been saying crazy things about him.
Micah.
Micah's been calling you girls' names, Bill.
Even I've Micah, Bill. He says a whole lot. Okay. Guess I'll leave you to it then.
All right.
This is like the third to last episode of Game of Thrones where you just had all these little character moments between everybody before they went to fight the army of the dead marching on the wall.
I don't like the sound of this.
All I'm saying, something happens, we get split up, we meet there. 01 Gila Dam, all right?
I'll listen to this from over here.
You ain't leaving right now, are you?
Just making sure we got a plan. You
Well, I'm
never know
leaving
how
now.
these things are
Got a
gonna turn out.
circle icon telling me to
Trying
leave.
to look out for the boy.
And you?
Working on it. Let's keep talking, okay?
Let's keep openly talking about leaving in front of Dutch and the others. Where's Karin? We're supposed to talk to Karin. We told Tilly we would. That's honestly the one thing I want to make sure I do before we wrap up. I could spend a whole video doing this. I really wouldn't mind. I mean, it's the end of a long narrative, it feels like. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we're at the very end of a long narrative with Arthur. I don't mind spending a whole video just checking in with characters. I don't think anybody still watching my LP at this point doesn't mind that either, but we said we were going to talk to Karin, damn it.
It's good you're thinking about this.
We've talked about this
I
like
don't
30
see things
times.
turning back around at this stage.
I think you're right.
Nope. Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
All right then, Arthur.
I guess Javier is going to go guard the,
Hey,
Hey there.
what's wrong?
What happened to loyalty, Arthur?
I keep asking myself the same question.
You just worry about that cough.
There's a character I wouldn't mind having a conversation with. There were moments earlier in the story where it seemed like Arthur and Javier were tight. Javier has not been forthcoming, other than just he's pissed. But I mean, Williamson's kind of like it's apparent where he's at. He's confused. He doesn't know who to trust. Javier, on the other hand, it seems like he's just completely loyal to Dutch, and anything questioning Dutch he will not have.
Hello.
Miss Grimshaw. How are you feeling about everything?
How did you enjoy shooting people and smacking them around?
You have all lost sight of that.
Well,
I ain't lost sight of that.
Yes, Arthur. Mr. Morgan,
oh now,
Grimshaw.
see,
you okay?
it's just a weird game mechanic. I keep getting these things where I go up to people and I have these little clipped conversations that they wrote in case you pester them, but it's only after I've had that the they come up to you and start talking thing, which you can interrupt with not now, finally happens.
Sure.
Mr. Bell seems to have found a couple of men he knows. They're sitting over there.
Yeah.
Really?
Dutch seems fine with it, but it feels odd to me.
Yep.
Yes. Very odd.
Not even at all. Not to mention I can't find Karin. Oh, here's our friend Micah.
Why don't you and your pals just get out of here?
We got the train job coming up, Morgan.
The big one. The big one. Yeah.
We got the big one right here.
Well, try to keep your head straight.
Whatever, Black Lung.
Unless Karin turns out to be in here drinking. Which I guess she could be. We don't normally find characters wandering around in there. Although I suppose we don't normally go in there looking. Maybe she's with Dutch, and then we'll go talk to Dutch. That will trigger some dialogue there. It's possible.
Lady.
You okay, Arthur? You don't look so good.
Just keep your ear to the ground.
I will.
Good. We need to find out what's really going on here.
All right.
He appears to be in there by himself.
Well, at least you ain't run off.
I'm running off. Ooh, look, I'm running. Alright, doesn't look like we're going to be able to find Karin. Let's talk to Dutch. It's late in the video, but we'll at least get this thing started.
What you talking about?
Pearson left.
Oh.
Old uncle. The traitors. Both gone.
Well, that would explain why we couldn't
Gone.
come across
They
them.
said to young Tilly they were running to save themselves. I think Mary Beth left as well.
So it goes.
They are goddamn cowards, Arthur. Cowards. Of all the time we spent to run off,
Hey, at
I
least they
guess
made
they
some
don't wanna
stew.
die, Dutch.
ain't nobody gonna... And this is a tough time. And you ain't doing too well. But we, our community, we will survive. They will not crush us.
I hope so. But if we let Jack and the women free, well then
There
maybe
ain't
we
no
can...
freedom for no one in this country no more, Arthur.
You're not free to murder women
One
like I
more
am.
big score. We got enough money to leave. All this turmoil has the army and Pinkerton spinning. We take a boat and slip away.
I don't know what you're saying, Dutch, but it seems like I've heard it all before.
Just one more
And as
train.
always, a goddamn train.
Arthur! This is different. We know this is full of cash. Army payroll.
The cash
money,
man.
supplies to
He'll
repair
give us
the bridge
cash.
that you blew. This is all going to plan. We rob Uncle Sam and we leave.
That never goes poorly.
The poetry of it all. What do you think?
It sounds wonderful. Hell, yeah. I ain't got much to lose, but... You know, the women and the children.
The
And John
child.
and his family. I'm afraid I have to insist. I mean, we gotta let them go, because if the Pinkertons come through again, they will kill everyone.
John? Insist?
Yeah. Insist.
Of course, pal. Whatever you think is best, I will see to it. Huh? Now, we gonna rob a train?
Sure.
We shouldn't do blind
We will
LPs.
survive. We
I'm like torn between jumping in with goofy comments and just being like, fuck, man, that was intense.
will flourish. We have work to do, my friends. Let's go. Come on. We are gonna borrow a little money from old Uncle Sam and be out of his hair once and for all. He insists upon it. Insists.
Yeah.
Let's ride out,
I think Dutch and Arthur are kind of done.
Let's go. Yeah.
I think it was a great friendship that has reached its conclusion. It isn't the Morgan gang after all.
Okay, let's pick up the pace. Train is due in Saint Denis in an hour.
We're robbing a train in the middle of a city?
Yeah.
It's going to stop there,
Okay.
take on mail and water, let off some boys heading home on leave, and then it heads out.
They know the bridge is gone, Black Lung. There'll be a patrol past Annisburg, waiting down by the river to collect the money.
We sneak on quietly, and then we got a short time to stop the train before it reaches the patrol. John, you go get that dynamite. We'll meet back up outside of Saint Denis.
I'll go with them.
As you wish.
Come on.
If you insist.
I hid the wagon down here after we blew the bridge.
And we blew the
This
dome.
is one big goddamn group of us to be riding
It was
back
a
into
glorious
Saint
blue
Denis.
mess.
Yeah. I heard the Pinkertons have pretty much taken over Van Horn. Moved a whole heap of men in there. Things are closing in fast. Shit.
Well, if we rob this train, I'm sure everything will magically turn out
Be
well.
just through these trees. There it is.
Oop, there it is.
I'll get the dynamite. No, I can do it.
You
Sure,
stay here and
I'm
cough.
fine. Okay.
You got a whole game set after this one, but released before, where every little thing will be for you to do. Anyway, folks, so I'm now committed to this mission, which, God, if I wasn't sure before, that Dutch saying you insist, I mean, it's fucking over. The only question in my mind is whether things happen as a result of this mission and how the mission pans out, or if, like, Dutch and Micah just flat out try to kill Arthur. I guess we'll find out, but damn, I'm looking forward to it in a horrible, horrible way. See you guys next time.